Is that working? Yes. Okay, nice. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Today we're going to be reacting to Scott-Heron with a song that I've never heard before. Obviously, I love the name. The revolution will not be televised. Yeah, you got that right. Yeah, this was... I made a list based on your guys' suggestions under my video asking for requests or suggestions or whatever. It's really long. I don't know if I'll be able to get to all of it, but I'm going to try, and this is the first song on there. So, thank you very much for joining me. Let's just get right into this. If you're new to the channel, here we react to music, and I try to figure out what the music and the lyrics mean to me personally. And we do research on the songs after listening to them. Thank you, Discord, for making a noise so that I know to mute you right now before we continue. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised.
Oh boy, here we go.
The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nubs. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail.
That one was so powerful you had to say it twice. Wow. This is nuts. Obviously we're going to get into the lyrics, but just even if you just look at it from a musical perspective, the bass is amazing. Is that a flute in the background? That's beautiful and adds to the feel of the song very much so, fits the vibe of what he's saying. The drumming's awesome. Everything about it's like intense but rolling just under the surface, and I love it. All right, let's keep going.
There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still lights of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with Coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
Wow. Interesting. It's interesting because a lot of this stuff is, or at least some of it is, televised now. So Yeah, they've figured out how to monopolize and monetize fear very, very well with all types of stuff. But anyway, all right. That's The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. This came out in 1971 off the album Pieces of a Man. And I mean, a lot. It's crazy that there's a few different artists that I've reacted to on this channel before that have, like, political themes to their music, and it's interesting to me how they are often still relevant. Like the lyrics and what they're saying are still very relevant. Yeah. All right. A visionary, a poet. The years haven't diluted the message. There you go. Yep, the song is extremely relevant right now. That was 2 years ago. Should be playing all over the country right now. Long before rap and hip hop, there was the spoken word, the merger of rhythm and poetry. Rap. It's the birthplace of rap as we know it. The flute fluctuates so perfectly, heavier than most hip hop even. If Gil Scott-Heron would have known how accurate the song is today, this was only 5 months ago. As a music enthusiast, I'm ashamed to have never listened to this before. We need his voice badly today. Let's see. To some people saying the song is wrong because the Capitol invasion was televised. That's your idea of revolution. Okay. Yes, the events were televised, but they were because there was no actual revolution at all. The first change that takes place is in your mind. You have to change your mind before they change the way you live and the way you move. So when we said that the revolution will not be televised, we're saying that the thing that's going to change people is something that no one will ever be able to capture on film. It will just be something you see, and all of a sudden you realize I'm on the wrong page, or I'm on the right page, but I'm on the wrong note, says Gil Scott-Heron, speaking to Skip Bloomberg for the award-winning public broadcast system series in the 90s. My dad would play the song/spoken word song in the car ever since I was a little kid. For the past decade, it was nothing more than a song. Now it holds so much meaning to me. The revolution is finally beginning to be televised. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of different thoughts and concepts that this song brings up, and I appreciate it very much for that. All right, let's take a look at the lyrics. The revolution will not be televised is a rhythmic jam that serves as an unapologetic wake-up call to anyone, especially African Americans, who thought that they could gain their freedom by sitting on the sidelines. In a series of bold statements, Scott-Heron is essentially saying that freedom is not a spectator sport. You will not be able to sit at home and expect progress to come knocking. You will not see progress in the mainstream media. You will not be able to rely on social or political leaders to give you your freedom. Instead, you will have to be strong, courageous, hopeful, and most importantly, educated to finally earn your freedom from the racism running rampant amongst all of the institutions in the United States. It was as true in the 60s and 70s as it is today. The revolution will not be televised. Alrighty then. Oh, shoot. For some reason, Genius over the past few days has been not working. And that sucks right now because I'm trying to use it. Whatever. All right, let me just read it. You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. So, you can't just go home and just, mess around, skip out for beer during commercials. It will not be televised. It's not something you can watch. You need to be a, active participant. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. It will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing up is that a bugle? And leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spiro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. It will not be televised. It will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater will not star Natalie Wood, Steve McQueen, or Bullwinkle and Julia. Will not give your mouth sex appeal. Will not get rid of the nubs. Will not make you look 5 pounds thinner. It will not be televised. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color television into a stolen ambulance. Damn. Yeah, it just gets... So it starts with... I really like this motif throughout the track of kind of talking about the way television works, the way entertainment works. It's almost sad that we even need to compare actual real revolution to, you know, it's to say it's not going to have this entertainment quality and you're not going to be able to sit at home watching it. Damn. And as he gets deeper and deeper, it becomes more, it gets like closer and closer to who he's talking to. You know, he starts out on the outskirts and then he comes in with the different political leaders and what they're doing and what you're not seeing. And then he says, they're not going to show you pushing a shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide a color television into a stolen ambulance. Will not be able to predict the winner on a report from 29 districts. It will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on instant replay. Yeah, and like I said, he repeated that twice, which is, you know, now when that occurred, there has been a bit of a change from that, which is a good thing, you know. Now they are showing what the cops have been doing, and that's been going on now for quite a few years. Yeah, there will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still lifes of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit he's been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant. Women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news, no pictures of hairy women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing any of this. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be right back after a message about the white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. It will not go better with Coke. It will not fight germs that cause bad breath. It will not put you, it will. This is the only time, I think, in the entire song where he says it will. It will put you in the driver's seat. And that's one of the most important parts of the entire song. It will put you in the driver's seat. It will not be televised. There will be no rerun. It will be live. Yep. Top comment is crazy how the song can pretty much stay relevant forever as long as there are corporations and governments. This was the first track off Pieces of a Man. Man, imagine you put on an album and this is what it hits you with right out the gate. That's amazing. All right. I wish this stupid site was working properly. Let me see if I zoom in. Will that do anything? It did. All right. I still got time. Let's keep going. This is a criticism of counterculture era phrase turn on, tune in, drop out. Skag is slang for heroin, which Gil Scott-Heron struggled with publicly. Xerox was a major corporation which specialized in office supplies and became synonymous with copy technology. It has since been sold and broken up into different companies. Made for TV productions that were presented as special events would sometimes have a single sponsor for the entire multi-part production. In contrast to regular TV programming, they would be presented without breaks for advertising. Large companies would sponsor these productions. John Mitchell was an American lawyer, the 67th Attorney General of the United States under President Richard Nixon, chairman of Nixon's 98 and 72 presidential campaigns, and a convicted criminal. Prior to that, he had been a bond lawyer and one of Nixon's closest personal friends. General Creighton Abrams was a United States Army general who commanded military operations in the Vietnam War from 68 to 72, which saw the United States troop strength in South Vietnam reduced from a peak of 543,000 to 49,000. Jesus. He was then Chief of Staff of the United States Army from 1972 until his death. Wow. Spiro Agnew was the 39th Vice President of the United States, serving from 1969 until his resignation in 1973. He is the second and most recent Vice President to resign the position, the other being John C. Calhoun in 1832. Unlike Calhoun, he resigned as a result of a scandal. The scandal involved tax fraud and corruption. Damn. All right. Awards Theater was a recurring television showcase of first-run feature films, which was sponsored by Schaefer Beer. Typically, when we see music overlapping with politics in the form of political campaigns, the intervention of the music is to provide an incentive to pay attention to the politician, in the same way that promises made in commercials attract customers to purchase a product or service. This could be done through associating certain lyrics with political ideas or associating a favored artist with a candidate. With this line, Scott-Heron is saying that contrary to the political field that is frequently shown on the news, any type of rebellion or protest will have no easy tagline for why to join. Instead, there will be deep-rooted motivations that cannot be portrayed with a catchy slogan. Whitney Young was an African-American civil rights leader in the 60s. This isn't a favorable mention, possibly because Young was an advisor to Presidents Kennedy, Johnson, and Nixon, and because he publicly supported the Vietnam War. Roy Wilkins was a civil rights activist who served as the executive secretary and executive director of the NAACP. Roy Wilkins was one of the most outspoken critics of the Black Power movement, as he preferred the Minnesota approach, which focused on integration. As such, he would not be strolling through Watts, the setting of a 1965 riot. There are references to the vintage U.S. television shows popular in the late 60s and early 70s, Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, Petticoat Junction. They received reruns for decades after the song was written. Gill is convinced that when the revolution comes, they will no longer be irrelevant. Yeah. Women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow. All right. The revolution will not be televised. Great song, powerful song, important song. I like to hope that things have progressed a little since this song was written. But there's still a lot of change that needs to happen. So, all right. Thank you to the people who suggested this. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm glad that we got a genius to work at the end. That was helpful. Stay tuned for more videos. I'll see you guys soon.